There is a very specific type of person that looks at fame and says to themselves, I want this no matter what it could cost me. Most people that actually think like this never does anything about it. But the Island Boys did everything about it. That thing you were thinking of, they did it. They did everything. They did everything you could imagine to get famous. These two guys went from being two broke kids from Florida to being the most mocked, most searched, and certainly most talked about brothers on social media. And somewhere along the way, the line between we're doing this for clout and this is actually us now completely dissolved. The story of Alex and Frankie Venegas. I was very afraid of saying the last name when I first read it, to be honest. Before the tattoos and the churro hair, the Island Boys grew up in South Florida to a Cuban-American family that moved around a lot, and they were in and out of trouble all the time. By their own admission, they were basically juvenile delinquents. Theft, fighting, eating Nutella with a spoon, you get it. Not exactly a Disney origin story. But then they discovered the best platform, the best social media ever, TikTok. In October 2021, they posted their first masterpiece. Two guys in a pool freestyling a song that sounded like the writer who wrote it had heard of music but never actually listened to it. And the internet, as per usual, lost their mind. Within days, the clip was everywhere. Memes, remixes, reaction videos, and even news articles. And I just gotta ask the people who did the news articles about this, because at that time it was just two guys in the pool doing this stupid ass freestyle. What the fuck? Was there really nothing else for you guys to report on? I know this shit is dead. It's been like 6 years, but I just can't stop wondering. But were they genuinely trying to make it? And the answer is yes. Because here's the thing about the Island Boys that everybody missed when they were laughing at them. These guys understood exactly what they were doing when they were doing this pool shenanigan. Because they didn't go viral by mistake. They had this amazing script, this amazing planning, and this amazing bizarrety of this whole video that made it impossible for it to not blow up. Now, I'm not being serious, because I really with my whole heart think that they were just like on some drug or drunk or something, and they posted that video, went to sleep, woke up and saw that and thought they were in a dream, and then they said to themselves, well, might as well, because they were given this opportunity, I guess. After this viral, amazing moment, they did what every cloud chaser does when this thing happens to them. They struck while it was hot, and hard did they strike, because you will not believe the stuff I have for you guys. But in general, just interviews, podcasts, appearances, they leaned fully into the meme. They started beefs with other creators and got on No Jumper. And they kept on posting consistently, but here is where it gets interesting. There is a pattern that you've heard people discuss many times about people blowing up fast, especially when the foundation is shock value. The audience of these people don't really love these people. They love the spectacle of it. They like to see them do dumb shit. That type of audience, you gotta escalate. You cannot just stay at the level you are. You gotta level up. You gotta fucking get with the game, you know? The thing that got you here won't keep you. You gotta, you gotta do something crazy. Go shit in a bucket and crack 2 eggs in it and then drink the whole thing or something like that. And the Island Boys, they did their homework. They understood exactly that you gotta crack 2 eggs and shit in a bucket and drink. They understood that you had to fucking just go nuts when it comes to being famous like that. And they acted on it. The escalation started pretty standard, nothing really crazy. More beef, more controversy, more just escalated behavior in general. They dated OnlyFans people, got into public feuds, and just in general were pieces of shit, because that's inevitable when you get famous by shock value. But then the decisions started to genuinely get hard to watch. One of the brothers publicly came out, and the isolated situation here is fine. Nobody cares if you're gay or whatever. It's not a problem. That's not our issues here. Our problems comes from something completely different. Because the whole thing and the way it was played out felt more like a content announcement more than a personal announcement, you know, about yourself. The personal and the performative had completely merged. There was no separation anymore. And they made a video together. And you might think to yourself, well, yeah, that's their fucking niche, you know, they make videos together and they act stupid. But this video wasn't what you think it was. Do you want to guess what type of video they made together? I'm just saying, we're talking about carrots in the Nutella jar, you know, type of videos, if you know what I mean. Remember, they are brothers. But the thing is, I'm making fun of all this, but this is actually something very serious. Because at some point, you gotta ask yourself, is this some type of content tactic, or have they just lost their mind? And if they have lost their minds, then I feel really bad, because we've seen cases like this before where people who get famous for dumb shit just start abusing drugs and lose themselves. For example, the These Nuts guy, there is an entire documentary about this guy where he just abuses alcohol on the streets and just has a bad life. And I feel like this reminds me of that type of road these two guys took. Their reaction on the internet was a mixture of disgust and curiosity and a scarily big amount of clicks, which is horrifying, but is exactly what they wanted. But maybe this wasn't about what they wanted anymore, and it was just more of a compulsion now. And the reason why I say compulsion is because imagine being these two kids, getting all these eyes on you, and then getting them taken away from you. I think that would be their biggest nightmare, considering that they live on this now. I think they would do whatever it takes to not go back to being just regular two white boys. Here's what I keep coming back to when it comes to the Island Boys. They're easy to mock, and believe me, because the internet has not held back on that. But if you actually look at where they came from, broke, no real opportunities, and a system that wrote them off before they even became adults. And then suddenly the internet serves them a golden ticket on a plate. Except the ticket works only if you keep being a spectacle. What are they supposed to do with that? I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. I'm not saying that any of what they did, especially that video, is justified or okay, because some of it was genuinely disturbing. But there's something really dark about a machine that rewards people for destroying their own lives in public, that keeps feeding them attention as long as they keep escalating, and then acts shocked when they go too far. If you liked this video and found it entertaining, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and give me some feedback. You know, I always like when people tell me what I could do better, because this is genuinely fun to me and I like to see myself get better at making these videos. I know this one wasn't as long as usual, but yeah, sometimes you just gotta accept that I'm a lazy piece of shit and I don't have all the best ideas all the time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See ya.